Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that's going to let you make one super easily. And then you can distribute it everywhere and even earn money doing this. All in one place. And it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and even edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard.
Ever since we discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it's been really great. Really get the people involved and ask questions and get ideas for new podcasts. So it's really helped us. And I highly recommend you give it a try. So download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you, sir?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen. Don't listen to this podcast.
Don't listen to this.
If you're not of age.
What's of age?
18.
So 16?
18. We're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
We are here again.
Martin Luther King Jr. Part 3, everybody.
We've made it. We've arrived at the finale.
That's
I've been
right.
Fucking itching for this shit.
If you have not listened to episode 1 and 2, make sure you do that because you're ridiculous if you haven't.
You're really just a fool. I don't trust you anymore.
That's right. So in part 1, we went over the basic story of MLK and what he had done all the way leading up to his assassination. And then we went into part 2, and that was about James Earl Ray and the committee, the FBI committee that went over the official investigation of the assassination.
The FBI's exhaustive.
That's right.
Exhaustive. I love that word.
So here we are in part 3, and this is the conspiracies that are involved with Martin Luther King Jr.
All right, let's do this shit.
Yeah. So
Ray is here, by the way.
Yeah, what up? I'm just busy shooting some content.
I know, we're shooting some little content.
Some other
content kings over here, you know what I'm saying?
So this is the best part of what we do, which is this is the theories. This is the
yeah, that's the best part of what we do right there. That's the best part right there.
These are the theories. These are the things. These are the conspiracies.
And I feel like people will listen to literally wait 3 weeks and they're like, "Fucking finally for this."
I know.
Jesus, been waiting for this the whole time.
Shit.
I know. Half of the people are like, "I fucking hate history."
Like, shut up.
Shut up, Eric.
Interestingly enough, though, it's the opposite. I know you're trying to make a joke, but man, everybody enjoys I didn't know all this data, all this background.
I personally enjoy it.
Same here.
That's true. That's true.
It's cool. It's cool.
It actually reminds me of Shane Gillis, and he's like, man, if you're in history, it's like you're early onset Republican. He's like, if you ever think
gotta learn what's going on.
He's like, if you ever think they're man, World War II is the shit. You're like, you better watch out. I always thought that was funny.
So this one is a little bit less scripted and, this is
more talky.
This is more, the theories that are involved with this. Obviously, if you haven't listened to episode 1 and 2, go back.
Yeah,
go back. We say this all the time, but go back.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid if you don't.
I mean, this is the good part, but still, it's not going to make sense.
You got to build up to the goods.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to go over a couple of the main conspiracies that exist, and here we go. You guys ready?
Yep. Yes.
So the first one and the biggest one that exists, and there's probably the most, what did you say the other day? The most
prominent?
legs.
Oh, it has legs.
It's got legs. It's got legs.
So do I.
And that's that the FBI and the CIA killed Martin Luther King.
Oh yeah, I'm super down for this.
Yeah. So
like I'm already. Can I just get my?
I thought you totally trusted the government.
I already believe.
You trust
I'm like, just put me down for this one right now.
You're sold. You're sold just on that.
This end of the episode.
So some theories suggest that government agencies, the FBI and the CIA, were involved, right? And here's why: the FBI monitored MLK from 1955 until his death.
That's ridiculous. Like, but
Through,
they say why?
Through covert operations, wiretapping, and surveillance, right? J. Edgar Hoover suspected that Martin Luther King was influenced by communists. And so he intensified...
he's like, peace, fuck, commie.
So he intensified his actions and criticized King in 1964. And there was a program called COINTELPRO, which King faced FBI surveillance revealing alleged sexual affairs and communist ties.
I feel like literally that was like during the time, Russia's public enemy number one. You could just say anyone was a commie and they're like fucking.
And then
government's like, fuck.
And then everybody turns against them.
Fuck get him, piece of shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of the terrifying parts of history to me is this communist accusation period.
Well, I think that was like the beginning.
Every single person, like, oh, you knew this guy? You had a beer with him? Communist.
I feel like that was
ruin your life, ruin your family, you're fucking done.
That was the beginning of, I think that was like the precursor to the Patriot Act.
Yeah, it's insane.
They were like, ooh, we could use this to like pretty much delete your rights as a citizen.
Right.
Because you're a supposed communist.
Right.
And then, like, obviously, Patriot Act happened, and they're like, well, if we consider you, if you're labeled as a terrorist or potential terrorist, you literally...
national security behind that again.
You literally lose all rights.
Yeah.
Like, legally lose all rights.
Yeah, so after World War II, it was probed as a national security threat. And that was the first time...
National security!
That was the first time they used the term national security threat.
I just don't know how, what did he fucking say that made him like we are all equal, we're just regular people. He's like, whatever. Fucking
so
communist.
There was something called the Racial Matters Program, and that intensified in 1962 with the approval of wiretaps that was authorized.
And it was called Racial Matters?
Yeah.
That's what they called it?
The Racial Matters Program.
See, this literally makes it seem like it has nothing to do with communism.
Yep. So here's what's wild. In 1964, a package that contained a letter and a tape recording, allegedly of King having sexual indiscretions, were delivered to his address. To his wife.
Ooh,
recordings of him supposedly having extramarital affairs.
But how do they know it's like him? She's like, that sounds just like him.
Right.
Like, how do they fucking know that was him?
This letter was also anonymously written, and Martin Luther King suspected that the FBI sent the package.
Oh, for sure.
Now, if you read it, it's fucking insane.
What is
the
this
letter?
Oh my god,
is insane.
Listen here, Dr. Black.
I'm gonna read a couple parts of it, but it's so insane. I didn't even want to read the whole thing.
Want me to read it?
Yeah, MLK.
Does it make you feel more comfortable if I read it?
Insane, like just super racially charged.
So it's like, in view of your low-grade, abnormal personal behavior, I will not dignify your name with either a Mr. or a Reverend. And this is like weird. It's like typed because some of the letters are lower, so it's like with a mess. It's the E's, so it's on a typewriter.
Yeah.
Or a Reverend or a Doctor, and your last name calls to mind only the type of king, such a King Henry VIII, and his countless acts of adultery and immoral conduct lower than that of a beast. Like, okay, it's like ridiculous.
Fucking hardcore.
King, look into your heart. You know you are a complete fraud and a great liability to all us Negroes. Oh, so they're trying to make it sound like it came from a black dude. Okay,
Correct.
so because he's going to have
Yes.
fucking high-tech fucking recording devices up in your shit. White people in this country have enough frauds of their own, but I am sure they don't have one at this time that is anywhere near your equal. You are no clergyman, and you know it. I repeat, you are a colossal fraud and an evil, vicious one at that. You cannot believe in God and act as you do. Clearly, you don't believe in any personal moral principles. King, like all frauds, your end is approaching. You could have been our greatest leader. You, even at an early age, have turned out to be not a leader, but a dissolute, abnormal, moral imbecile. We will now have to depend on our older leaders like Wilkins, a man of character, and thank God we have others like him. But you are done. Your honorary degrees, your Nobel Prize, what a grim farce. And other awards will not save you, King. I repeat, this does not sound like
a fuck.
I mean,
Sounds like a hater.
No, dude. And keep going.
sounds
Keep
like
going. Because at the
this guy
bottom.
sounds like he's like a Princeton professor.
Yeah.
What a noble farce. King. No person can overcome facts, not even a fraud like yourself. He's going to say fraud like 7,000 times. Lend your sexually psychotic ear to the enclosure. You will find yourself and in all your dirt, filth, evil, and moronic talk exposed on the record for all time. I repeat, no person can argue successfully against facts. You are finished. You will find on the record for all time your filthy, dirty, evil companions, male and females, giving expression with you to your hideous abnormalities, and some of them to pretend to be ministers of the gospel. Satan could not do more. What incredible evilness. It is all there on the record. Your sexual orgies. Listen to yourself, you filthy, abnormal animal. I mean, this is my God. You are on the record. This is the 17th time you said you're on the record. You have been on the record. All your adulterous acts, your sexual orgies extending far into the past. This one is but a tiny sample. You will understand this. Wow, this is like really bad grammar here. Yes, from your various evil playmates. And they make mistakes and like on a typewriter, you can go over and you can like type the right things. There's like multiple mistakes in this, like literally multiple. Your various evil playmates on the East Coast too, and like crazy spacing, and others on the West Coast and outside the country. You are on the record. King, you are done. The American public, the church organizations that have been helping Protestant, Catholic, and Jews will know you for what you are, an evil, abnormal beast. So will others who have backed you. You are done. Okay, so this is ridiculous. King, there is only one thing left for you to do. You know what it is. You have just 34 days. You have just 34 days. Like there's so many days in which to do this. This exact number has been selected for a specific reason. It has definite practical significant. And they spelled significant like wrong with 2 F's. You are done. There is but one way for you. You better take it before you're filthy, abnormal, fraudulent. They just fucked fraudulent up. And like they had like multiple corrections. Your fraudulent self is bared to the nation. And it's just like an audio recording.
With that letter, it
like
was
an audio
recording of him having sex with somebody.
No, but it's audio. There's no way to prove it's Martin Luther King.
I know. No, it's true.
It's literally,
true.
it's like,
I know.
oh, your sexual orgies, men, women, beast, abnormality. And then it's like, literally,
But
it's
here's
just like 2
what's
people
crazy.
How can you tell it's an origin?
Here's
It's
what's
just
crazy.
audio.
Here's what's crazy is
it's Dr. King. Like, what the fuck?
No,
It's
here's-
Call me
bullshit.
king.
Let me tell you.
Call me king.
And this is such bullshit.
Here's what's is crazy. Years later, the FBI was broken into, and this letter was found, and it was confirmed that the FBI sent it.
No fucking way.
100%.
No fucking way. And this is not being talked
And
about?
it's part of the COINTELPRO program.
No fucking way. And no one's talking about this? See, this is what I'm saying. Like,
So they call it the suicide letter because it's open for interpretation.
the
right?
suicide letter?
Meaning they're trying to talk him into killing himself.
Oh, they're like, oh, we got you.
You know, the only thing for you to do is do it.
No, but the thing is, like, if it's bullshit, he wouldn't kill himself unless it was real.
I know.
And he was obviously like,
But
whatever.
it was confirmed as an FBI tactic.
No, but the funny thing is,
Isn't that
like,
fucking crazy?
literally, I'd understand if he did do it and he was, oh fuck, like, yeah, like kill himself, but like, no, don't care. Like,
Yeah.
I just think that's total bullshit.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that is real.
Yeah.
Especially if they had video. Okay, that's a different story.
I know.
That's something proven.
But now let's take this up. This is a hard conversation to have. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Let's say he did.
Okay. No, okay.
Let's
I
say
mean,
he
it's
did. Does that degrade?
his movement.
Be honest.
No,
Be
of course
honest. Does it degrade his movement?
not. No, not at all. It degrades his credibility as
Because he
a
doesn't-
pastor.
he doesn't-
for
Yeah,
sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say. He's talking about.
He's talking about
civil
he's
rights.
talking about civil rights.
He's talking about equal rights. He's not talking about.
It has nothing to do with sexual deviancies.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a real one here.
No.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking.
I didn't expect that.
Does that make?
I didn't expect.
Sorry, like real talk.
God
Like,
damn it.
does that make his equations and his fucking theories like any lesser? That if he's into like midgets on fucking chalkboards and shit, does that make his shit any lesser?
doesn't.
No, it makes him.
Does it?
It makes him a sexual deviant, but it doesn't make his math wrong. It doesn't make him not a good theoretical physicist. Like, it has nothing to do.
That's a good one.
I'm saying
I didn't expect this at all. This was not part of the script.
no, but you understand what I'm saying, though. It's
I
like,
do understand. What you're saying.
It's like whatever someone's sexual proclivities are non sequitur to what they're doing because it's a different thing. Obviously, him being a pastor, sure. If he was, which I don't believe he was, if he was doing that, it doesn't make him credible as a pastor. Does that make if which I don't think he was, if he was doing this, does that make the civil rights movement bullshit? No, of course not. It has nothing. Whatever he does in bed has nothing to do with civil rights at all. It has 0% to do with it.
Nor does it take away from the 2,500
speeches
and inspiration that he did, and that's
and that literally has nothing to do with civil rights.
But we're
at
not
all.
condoning.
What he's doing.
But I'm
it's
just
not
trying to
proven that he's
understand,
doing
like,
it.
does it take away? Because we also had the same thing with JFK.
Oh yeah, with fucking Maryland.
And him being a little man whore.
I mean, but that was
and
like
running around town and just being like, hey,
a player.
Yeah. Oh, in order to get my back pain relief, I need to orgasm. Like
no,
that
but
whole
here's the
kind of
thing, like that's a little different because that was recorded on the White House phones. He's like, yeah, bitch. Like, fucking get over here. You know, as opposed to some random fucking cassette tape. And it's like, king. Like, you know, like it's a little loose. It's a little loose.
Oh, a lot.
I would hope that the good things that you do in life are not pulled down by the negative things that you may have done in the past.
We're in a weird society now. Like,
does that make sense?
You could be the great. You could be the greatest person.
But
who's
that's
ever,
like classic fucking like black propaganda. They're just gonna try to take one thing and
whatever good you do, it doesn't matter because people always. I always use this example. Let's say like I like to gamble.
Yeah.
You know, and so I only ever remember my bad losses.
Yeah. You never remember the good ones.
People tend to only focus on the negatives.
Yeah.
And that's why if you look at any sort of news outlet, they always focus on the negative. They're never telling you good news.
No.
When's the last time you heard some fucking good news?
Yeah.
0 times.
Yeah.
They only focus on the bad shit because people tend to focus on the bad things. I don't know why, for whatever reason. Because
drama.
Yeah,
drama.
it's drama.
People love drama.
I guess maybe the question is did you do more good than bad?
Well, Martin Luther King did infinitely more good than bad. Like 99.9999999%.
Yeah, if we're talking about judging people. Because I've done horrible things.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be.
Me too.
I
I've
don't
done
want to be
terrible
the
things.
guy who's like, yeah, well, you got to be doing good things all the time.
Yeah.
I've done horrible things,
Yeah,
but maybe I'm hoping that I'm judged on the good things.
Well, you should be. In a sane
Right?
world,
Yeah.
in a sane
Yeah.
environment,
Yeah.
you
So
should be judged off your deeds.
Yeah. So with MLK, whether or not he did those, I don't know.
Anyways, this is a big if.
I know it's a big
as
if.
far as I'm concerned,
But
MLK could have been fucking like he could have been doing whatever the fuck he wanted to.
Yeah, so
he
that's
could have been fucking goats, and I'd be like,
but
whatever.
That's the argument.
Forgiven.
No, but
Yeah.
that's the great argument. Is are you doing more good than bad?
Dude, he's done infinitely more good. It doesn't
That's
matter.
the argument.
MLK,
Are you doing more good than bad?
MLK could have killed JFK,
Yes.
and I'd still be like, he's the shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
dude,
Okay. All right. Well, it was found out that this was a letter written by the FBI
So fucked.
in a campaign
Yeah, it's fucking
to
bullshit.
try to get him to do something.
Well, whoever
Whether it
wrote
was-
it in the FBI has terrible spelling and terrible
yeah.
grammar.
Yeah. But we do know more about MLK's personal life than most historical figures because it was documented and recorded by the FBI.
God, there's such fucking bastards.
There's hundreds of tapes of his life, what he was like. Was he tired? Was he upset? Was he all this stuff because he was being recorded constantly.
How are we still funding this organization? I don't understand how we're still giving them billions of dollars a year.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
J. Edgar Hoover called Martin Luther King the world's most notorious liar. The FBI director sought information that would embarrass King and induce him to step aside as the leader of the civil rights movement. Given such an agenda, the FBI's file on King, as you might expect, is shot through hostility, sexual innuendo, gossip, and plenty of references that he had many extramarital affairs.
Of course, it's just like their entire
It's
investigation.
like a campaign.
And well, look
Yeah,
at
it's
their
pretty
entire investigation against the dude who supposedly killed him. Maybe. I mean,
Right.
it's possible, highly probable. I mean,
Right.
everything is fucking based off it's based off perception.
Right.
It's an entire organization based off manipulating the perception of other people.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit.
The
Fuck
wiretaps,
FBI. Fuck you.
wiretaps, for instance, often showed King wrestling with questions of strategy. In June of '63, the FBI transcribed a conversation that King had with one of his advisors. He said, "We are on the threshold of a significant breakthrough.
Yeah, civil rights.
We are at the
fucking
point where we
idiots.
can mobilize all of this righteous indignation into a powerful mass movement." He and Levinson then discussed the potential benefit of staging a large demonstration in the nation's capital, of which that would become the March in Washington, and that would then become the I Have a
Million Man March
Dream,
or something?
and that would
It
become
was I Have a Dream. That was where
Yeah.
there was millions of people at
Yeah.
the Washington Monument. And it was like fucking amazing.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Just the smear campaign that can occur.
And the fact that it's like documented that they were doing it. And somehow we're still like, we trust you. FBI's got our backs. They got the best interests in mind. And they were like, fuck MLK. We got to take this guy down. This guy's a threat. He's a liar. And he's literally like, please give black people rights.
So one of the biggest parts or things about the conspiracy of it was that when he turned against Vietnam, was that J. Edgar Hoover was he's a communist.
Well, no, he turned against Vietnam. And he's like, he's fucking with our pocketbooks now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how much money we're making off Vietnam? This pointless war against this country that's the size of a thimble?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Literally, you're talking about the United States of America, the largest military power on earth against Vietnam, who has a total population of 2 million people.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, get the fuck out of here. It's the stupidest war ever. It's so dumb.
It's a crazy concept, right? Then the major issue in the country was Vietnam War.
Well, he was a humanitarian. He was a human rights guy.
So he had to decide whether or not to put his power
behind that.
Yeah, and it's just an interesting part.
Well, see,
in
it's
the
just
history.
a point. It just proves the point that the U.S. government will fucking attack anybody if you're going against their interests.
Yeah. So in 7, he said, "If America's soul becomes totally poisoned, part of the autopsy must read Vietnam."
Did
That's
Vietnam?
what MLK said.
Vietnam was fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
honest. It
that's
was so
powerful quote.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I actually read this. I saw this thing about Vietnam, and it was this guy, and they were just fucking murdering these Vietnamese people, like just fucking ruthless, like savage, just murdering them for no reason. And then they would falsify the numbers of how many Americans died,
Right.
to continue
the movement.
and they'd kill like fucking 60 fucking Viet Cong. And then they'd be like, all right, well, let's say, 100 of us died. And it was so they were just like falsifying numbers, and they were getting more money, more support. And then people were getting more pissed and more enraged that all these Americans were dying. But like literally, like it was the actual ratio was probably like, 50 to 60 to 1. Like of them to 1 American that was actually dying. And that's why so many people came back from Vietnam so fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
They're all so fucked up, dude. Like
They were almost promised this weird, because World War II was the generation of fighting evil.
oh, dude, I know. It was like
Right? And
saving the world.
Everybody was against it, and it made sense, and it was black and white, and it was evil against good, and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And then Vietnam came around, and it was,
What are we doing here? Like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Like,
But you have to go.
I know you're like, these people can't do anything to us. They have no
Yeah.
capabilities. Like, they cannot do shit. We fucking Blackhawks and like fucking F-16. Like, dude, what the fuck's happening?
So that's the theory is that he turned against the Vietnam War and And there you go. And so they said, he has so much pull that it's time to
Take him out.
take him out.
I mean, it's a pretty open shut case here, guys. It's documented the FBI is running a smear campaign.
Yeah.
Yep.
Documented that the FBI sent this letter.
Yeah.
At the same time they sent this letter, proving that they're running a smear campaign against him.
Right.
It's pretty open and shut case
It's
here,
pretty
boys.
wild.
It's
actually pretty wild.
Yeah. Sounds like Hoover also had a personal.
But do you think
You know-
Hoover went across the line and said take him out?
Fuck yeah.
So there you go. That's the theory of the FBI. But there's not a lot of evidence.
There's more evidence in that than they had in the fucking case against against what's his name?
The main
Conveniently.
the main evidence is that they leaked documents later on saying that they did do the letter. They were
Doing a smear
surveilling him.
campaign,
They were
like-
surveilling him. Is that the word?
Surveilling, yeah,
they were
surveilling, yeah.
surveilling him, and they were trying to find his connections with communism and anti-war,
Yeah.
anti-Vietnam.
So funny though. You're a piece of shit if you're like, we shouldn't go to war. Fucking communists.
I know, right?
It's like, how does that
Well,
make you
it's kind of like
communist?
against the American.
The American way, or
Yeah, or like what? Okay, this is what we're gonna do as an American people, and so you're against that.
I love
Yeah.
how it's
I
like,
guess.
it's
right?
like you're against the American
So then they
way
kinda
when it's like,
smear you and
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
anti-American.
when literally like 0.0000001% of the population is like, this is what we're doing. We're like, no, you're against the American way.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
17 dudes are like, we're going to war. And we're like,
So another theory, and this could tie into what we just talked about, and it could tie into all the different theories essentially, but that James Earl Ray was a patsy.
yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? So that could be the FBI part of it. It
And-
could be the
and they-
mafia.
and he
It
was
could
the-
be
he
anything.
was the
But
patsy,
the idea
yeah.
is that he's a patsy.
Yeah.
So he was a convicted assassin, but
Wait,
the
whoa,
idea-
convicted assassin? Oh, he was convicted for
No,
assassinating.
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he was the convicted assassin
Okay.
for this
I
crime.
thought he was like convicted for
Yeah.
assassin. I was like, oh, that changes everything.
Your credibility goes out the
I
door
was like,
now.
oh my God. I was like,
But-
I think I might change my statement.
But the idea was that he was the patsy and he wasn't actually part of it. So, or at least he was maybe part of it. It's kind of like Lee Harvey, where he
Right,
may
yeah,
have been like, "Hey, bro, you're gonna get really famous and you're gonna get into this and you're gonna be the driver, and that's about all you're gonna do."
That's why I think it's super similar. He's like, he's just dumb enough to drive the car.
Yeah.
And he's okay.
Right.
And then they do it and they're like,
Yeah.
here's all the
I don't know. I
evidence.
still don't like the drive the car part. That he's
Doesn't-
just
doesn't work?
No, that he's just a driver. No,
I think it fits.
Hmm.
you think it fits? Okay.
I think it fits just if you base it on all of the other shit. So, okay. So he's already on the run. He's been on the run for a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
And so I do think there's someone else involved who's like, hey, you should come here. Because if you look at all of his other movements, they're so fucking sporadic. There's
he's all
like
over the
Yeah.
there's no rhyme or reason to where he's
Yeah.
going. He's just like going anywhere. So I do think there's someone like, okay, here, come here. And then he goes there. I think
Well,
he gets
actually, about what you just said, wasn't he tracked? At least with what they say, the FBI says that they have receipts that he was like tracking going to the same cities where MLK was.
there was like three of the same. They said he
Correct.
went to LA and then he
Yeah.
went to like
That's a
Atlanta.
lot.
But my thing is, hear me out, because this is what I'm thinking. So when he first goes to Memphis, he checks into some other hotel, and then the next day he moves to the one that's like by MLK's hotel. So I think he gets in town. He's like, I'll check in here, and they're like, no. Check in here. He's like, oh, okay, whatever. Like he's like a dude. He's like, sure. And they're like, hey, you want some Schlitz? He's like, fuck yeah.
Good call on that.
They
It
want
was
some
a
Schlitz.
Schlitz
He's like,
beer.
drinks a couple Schlitz, and they're like scoop him into the trash can. And they're like, you want to see a gun? He's like, fucking cool. So like he like holds the gun. They're like, okay, sweet. So we're gonna need you to drive us to 7-Eleven tomorrow. So they go wait in the car, and they're like, okay. He's waiting in the car. They pop. They fucking just one shot pop.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So
They shoot him, okay, and then they throw the evidence in a bundle, pretty
So
much an
who-
evidence bag.
who's
They
we?
throw the-
Who's we? You said we gonna need you to do this. So who's
I
we?
think it's probably federal agents dressed up like somebody else, and this is probably the Raoul thing. They probably got this Raoul thing from this, and they're like, a dude's wearing like a blonde wig, and he's like, it's like almost like Oh my god! Remember, Eric? What's the JFK movie with like Joe Pesci wearing like the really terrible?
Yeah, it's JFK. It's called JFK.
It's really,
on Netflix.
He's wearing.
It's Oliver Stone.
It's Oliver Stone.
Oh yeah, that
But
one.
Joe Pesci's wearing the worst possible wig ever. It's like a blonde wig.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
No, but it was
Yeah.
very true to the guy was wearing it.
But that's my point. It's like it's probably a dude in like a shitty wig, and he's like, "Yeah, my name's Raul," and he's sweet. Because my thing is like, how is he also funding how is he funding this whole thing, this whole operation? He's traveling across the country. He's got a Mustang.
Because he was a fucking robber.
A very unsuccessful one. He gets caught every time he robs a place.
No, not every time. He robbed a few.
If you look at the consistency of his robberies, he's got like an 18% win rate on robberies. And when he does win, he gets like $17. So
Yeah.
like, not enough money. Like,
Okay.
There's no way he could. How is he funding? How is he flying to London and then he's flying to Brussels?
Because the fucking plane ticket cost like $3 back in the day. Like
to go.
He robbed the gas station and got $100.
Hey, that's a lot of money back then.
There's no way this gas station at $100 and a flight costs $3. That's fucking impossible.
True.
My thing is like
some weird stuff.
It's just there's too many things that are okay. How is he funding this whole fucking thing? And somehow he's like I'm gonna be tracking MLK, and there's just too many things that are off. I totally think there's someone else's. Hey, look. I'm gonna Western Union you some cash. You come here, and he's like fucking tits.
That was hot. That was hot back then.
Western Union, I know.
So hot.
I got a fucking.
Don't cash at me.
By the way,
Western
have you-
Union me.
I got a fresh money order for you, brother.
Have you ever gotten a Western Union?
Once.
Yeah.
I've never gotten it.
I've got it one time.
How dope is it? What is it? What happens?
It's the
Tell
worst.
Me about
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Wait, you go in and they're like, "Yeah, you got $100."
No,
and then
it's-
they just go 10.
So I
30.
actually,
It's
I
a
actually
money
used to have
order.
a store. My dad had a like a Mexican store.
Oh,
know?
you're like a bodega?
Like a bodega.
And you were selling like phone
I don't
cards?
even know. I can't say. I can't acknowledge or confirm.
Were you
this.
selling like minutes? like
Yes.
little minute cards?
We used to sell the minute cards, and like one of the other things we used to sell was the fucking money wires, like money transfers.
Yeah.
So we had MoneyGram. I was a MoneyGram representative or whatever.
The certified?
Yeah, so the way it works is like somebody comes, you just have to have a code, and then you put it into the system, and it's like, oh, okay. Like,
Got
so
$1,000
it could be anybody.
Well,
I don't
they
need
pay-
your name.
They
like,
pay you the money, and then it goes to the other
And what do
place.
you
And
get? What do you get?
they like a transfer fee or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember
$50
how
out of
much it was.
1,000.
It's like a percentage. Maybe it's like
I don't remember how
3%,
much it
3,
was,
4,
but
5.
yeah. So something small.
Yeah. Wow. I wish I got a Western Union.
It's
never
not.
got it.
It's just.
I'll cash app you.
Yeah, it's cash app.
It's much
So
better.
this is like Western. I just Western Union you for the Chick-fil-A.
Sounds rad. I just want to go to a teller and be like, I got $1,000. I got to get out of the gambling debt. I got to get out of gambling debt. Yeah, the
big
mafia boss, and I gotta pay them off. It's really important.
No, my point is that it's just too many. This guy isn't a fucking mastermind. I'm sorry, he's not. Like
He's living life.
let's be-
one moment at a time.
This guy. This guy
but does
can
it
think.
take a mastermind? Does it take that to just figure out where
kill
he's going to be?
somebody?
If it was in the newspaper, you know where he's going to be. So you go and
That's
stay
a
in the
great
same.
question. Does it take a mastermind?
In this case, like in the JFK, it might have been a different story.
No, and you could take it in all cases. Does it take a mastermind to commit this kind of
exactly.
thing?
Does it?
Does it?
I personally think that
I don't know.
to execute this and then
high level person.
a high
To kill me, sure.
no yeah no,
doesn't take a mastermind.
It would take
The
like
Chick-fil-A
no.
driver.
No way. Yeah, like
Chick-fil-A
you're done. Like
done.
fucking done.
Get rid of it. But
she comes up and then she's like pop pop.
But-
you're fucking
but
game
top
over.
top five in the U.S.
No, like seriously,
That's probably where MLK was at the time.
to
Top
take
five.
to take someone out that high profile, and especially and then to be on the run for fucking 6 months
I know.
without getting caught. I mean, come
Going to
on.
Canada, then England.
And he's getting passports and shit. I'm like, okay, bro, really?
He's very resourceful.
He's
Very
too resourceful.
Too
He's
resourceful.
too resourceful for his means.
Yeah, very true.
yeah.
That's my own personal opinion.
Okay.
Personal opinion. Let's
So
continue.
in 1997, Dexter King, which is the son of MLK, he met with James Earl Ray in prison, and he asked him direct, eye to eye, and he said, "Did you kill my father?" James Earl Ray firmly denied any involvement.
Said Ray will kill him.
The King family, including Dexter, publicly expressed their belief in Ray's innocence and called for a new trial.
I mean, that is a really powerful thing.
I know.
That the whole family doesn't believe
The wife and the son.
it. And it's not like you can be easily convinced.
Right.
I didn't do it. I
So-
believe him.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
So here's
It's like,
what's
okay,
weird.
done deal.
Yeah, fucking believe it.
So here's what's weird, and you can go on YouTube if you really wanted to.
I might
and you can
right
watch
now.
this. So they couldn't get a trial.
Yeah.
They couldn't get a retrial. So HBO did a mock trial.
No way.
Yes.
What does that even mean?
They did a fake trial on TV.
But what is that like with the
doesn't-
actual
Okay.
people?
Okay.
Yes. And
What?
with a fake jury and like the first reality show that ever existed.
No way.
Correct. Yes, you could look it up.
HBO was around back
HBO
then?
did. Yes, in 1997.
Oh my god.
Yes.
And he's all like
So-
old and he's like "Mrr."
So William Pepper, a friend of King, represented Ray in a televised HBO mock trial
No.
aimed at providing the trial he never had.
That is the worst. I
Wait,
cannot
so does
believe
mock trial
it.
mean like he?
It's
he
fake.
was-
It's
you're
a
saying
fake-
like you
no,
can
it's
just get
fake.
anybody.
It's a totally
Anybody-
fake trial. It's a fake trial.
It's the
With
idea.
a fake jury, a fake trial.
The
It's all
idea
fake.
was-
It's just kind of like going through the motions, see what would happen.
Correct.
With fake people, and they're like,
And a fake jury.
it's like, wow.
Correct. Okay.
What's
Yeah,
the
they did it.
purpose of
Yeah.
that? What the fuck?
Of which they acquitted James Earl Ray
And the fake
in
trial.
the make trial.
Yeah, but that was 30 years later too. I'm just saying, like,
So fake. It's so
I'm sorry. Like, why? Like, why would they even have a verdict? They're like, you're free to go back to prison. It's
very true.
It's almost like more torture. It's
Very
like
true.
it's almost like worse.
I don't know.
no, wait.
This
so,
happened.
Sean keeps saying
this
something.
is a real story. This
hold
is
on,
not.
hold
I
on.
didn't
'Cause
make
Sean
this
keeps
up.
saying something that confusing me. Are you saying that like you're thinking that James Earl
Ray
or whatever he was there? Or are
Yes!
you-
Yes, he was.
Oh,
They-
I thought you meant like just fucking like hired actors
No,
and
they
shit.
gave him a fake trial.
What?
It's like a fake trial, and then they acquitted him, and then they took him back to prison.
That's the worst. That's the worst.
I'm telling you, it's almost like literally it's like being at Guantanamo Bay. They're like, you're free to get tortured some more.
I'm sorry. I waited for like 2 hours to tell you guys this
Oh
story.
my god, that is the worst possible thing. Like, why would they do that? Like, how did
Because they
HBO
could. No, look at it like this way. Look at it like this.
thought you meant, like,
30
fucking
years.
actors
No,
and
20
shit.
years.
No, it's like a real trial that would fake.
Oh,
20
man.
years. 20 years go by, and all you have is publicity, and you have all the courts saying no, you can't get a trial.
So he's like, give me
So
a
you're
fake
like,
trial.
fuck it.
Give me a mock
Let's
one.
go on
Yeah,
HBO.
just, no, like, let's pretend.
Let's go on HBO. Let's go on HBO and see if we can get the crowd.
Oh, to convince like enough people to convince them to do a real trial.
That's right.
Wow.
Man, I wonder how much. Like, I don't know if the HBO like fucking get hella shit for this. Like, just massive
No.
amounts of shit.
I'm sure they got good ratings.
Yeah.
So after this mock trial, we'll call it a mock
Then
trial.
the Real Housewives shows were
that's-
released like instantly
That's
after.
when the King family filed a wrongful death civil suit against Lloyd Jowers, the guy who said he was paid $100,000 to
Oh,
do
okay.
it.
Oh, yeah.
That's when they did an actual
And they got
civil
and they got
suit,
$100,
and then
Like,
and it was for $100.
that's so fucking.
And then they got $100 in restitution. So Coretta Scott King asserted that the jury was convinced of a conspiracy involving the mafia and various government agencies in her husband's assassination. She maintained the evidence pointed to somebody else, not James Earl Ray, as the shooter, emphasizing that Ray was framed.
All I want to say is like James Earl Ray gets convicted, but meanwhile, like O.J. Simpson gets off,
Crazy, right?
and they have zero evidence for like except for hella
Everything's
circumstantial.
circumstantial and
like
probable and
literally, it's like I watched OJ kill her. And they're like,
It's not good enough. It's kind of not good enough.
"You're a racist.
You
guy?
probably did.
You're racist."
Yeah, you probably did. Circumstantial.
Yeah, they're like,
Circumstantial.
"Did he though?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I have now dried this glove 17
Anyway,
times."
so
Put it on.
as far as the King family, they got $100 in a civil suit.
I mean, which didn't
saying
even
he was acquitted.
pay
then-
for like lawyer
yeah,
fees.
But then he died.
Who?
James Earl Ray. He died in prison, right? So then you kind of go, all right. It's the
What
end.
can you do now?
Yeah.
It's over. So there you go. That's the conspiracy of James Earl Ray as a patsy.
Well, I totally think he's a patsy. I'm a firm believer of the patsy play.
I'm leaning on that now.
Yeah. And now going into that, there's some theories that propose that there were multiple shooters involved in the assassination, challenging the idea that Ray acted alone. And it raises the question about the forensic evidence and the circumstances involving it.
Well, I mean, I know they say multiple shooters, but like only one shot was fired, so like multiple people with a gun.
Multiple conspiracy.
Yeah, that's right.
Conspirators.
Conspirator?
Yeah. But Coretta King said, for both our family and the nation, we had to get involved because the system did not work. There is abundant evidence of a major high-level conspiracy in the assassination of my husband.
That's right, Coretta. You tell him, girl.
The jury found the mafia and various government agencies, the mock trial, were deeply involved in the assassination. Mr. Ray was set up to take the blame.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
My thing is like I don't understand I understand like this mafia angle, but like what the fuck are they gaining from that? The mafia
Honestly, and the same with the JFK thing. The
mob like the mob gains nothing.
The mob is more like a
hired
like let's get a guy.
Yeah, they're like, hey. But like
Vincenzo.
I mean my thing like I was thinking about it. What's the one thing that is obviously probably the main thing? Well, there's two main things that you need when you're ever investigating a murder.
Yeah.
It's means, obviously, and motive. What is
Means and motive.
James Earl Ray? What is his motive?
Racism.
Is there any?
That would be it.
But the thing is, like,
it,
is there any documented thing where he was like some fucking diehard devout racist? Where he was like,
he is a bit of a
have
racist.
to be diehard because, like, back then, everybody
everyone was
usually seems
Every white
to be.
guy?
Yes, I mean, it
Well,
seems like there was
Eric.
the country was very. Yeah,
There we go.
Eric.
Now we
I'm
get
just
lumped.
saying, like,
there we go. Here
the
we
country
go.
was very, just
Agreed.
divided. I guess I don't know.
Totally.
What it is, but like
Then why didn't every white male in America fucking shoot MLK?
because they weren't, criminals like this guy.
But I'm telling you, it's not.
He was a criminal through and through.
Totally agreed. Fully
Through and
agreed.
through, right?
But fully agreed. But
Escaped prison like 5 times.
But
robbed liquor
Robbed his
stores,
way
banks,
through life.
everything.
But that doesn't mean it. That doesn't give it motive. It'd be different if
It's
MLK
true.
like fucked his wife and he'd be like, he's got to go.
No, I don't know. Like, but he people.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been racist. This is just speculation. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was just very racist, and he's like, well, I don't like what this guy's saying, and I don't know.
I'm gonna somehow make money and follow him around the country, and then buy a gun from a fucking Marine store.
If he was, if he was racially, charged enough, maybe.
See, the thing is, like right now, we're making up motives.
I
for
know.
him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like,
We're like just
my
speculating.
Point. That's my
and,
point.
like,
Is like we have to make up motives for him because there is no fucking motive.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
So
Thank
this
you, Rory.
is
Come
this
to my
is-
side. Come to the dark side, my friend.
So this is from the family.
Come to the brown side.
This is from the King family. He says,
there.
they say, we will do everything in our power to see that justice prevails. The family wasn't seeking money, just actual information. For both our family and the nation, we had to get involved because the system did not work. I believe that that's exactly what happened, which is the theory of J. Edgar Hoover. Hoover was so angry, he had hate in his heart. Certainly, he hated Dad. He had a vehement hatred of folks of color.
I believe that. Fuck
From
you,
the King
yeah,
family.
Piece of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole family believes that it was a FBI related.
I mean,
If I had to pick on and like lean on one thing, like that would be the one that makes the most sense to me.
who's got the motive? The FBI
Yes.
has proven motive.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yes.
documented motive.
Yes.
Like literally,
Yeah.
it's on the record. Motive.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
motherfuckers who got motive. Like right there.
So it was led.
And the memes.
It was led and driven by Hoover.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
This whole thing.
That's Eric will ask us.
So I'm gonna ask
here we
the
go.
questions. So here we go. We went through 3 hours of all the information and all the different conspiracies and different things, and you saw the pictures and you saw what happened, the timeline leading up. Jorge, you gonna go first?
I was gonna make Eric go first, but
No,
that's true.
never. I never go first.
You never go
first.
Eric, you're going first.
I hate going first.
I always go first. Eric, you go first.
Okay, I'm gonna go first this time.
Perfect. Thank you. I'll go last
I'm gonna go first.
because everyone already knows what I believe, so it's okay.
More so than any of the other ones, I believe he was killed by the FBI.
Oh my God, Eric.
I'm there.
Friendship renewed.
Yeah, I'm there.
This is on the conspiracy side.
I'm on the conspiracy side on this one.
This is
Because,
like the third out of 56 episodes.
I am on the conspiracy on this side because now I don't know if it was FBI, CIA, mafia.
That's
fine.
fine.
I don't know who it was.
As long as they're on the right side, baby. That's all that matters.
But I think he was just doing too much. This sounds weird, but I think he was just doing too much good.
And too much good is bad for business, baby.
He was doing so much. He was doing all the things that I think of, meaning like he was doing anti-war, Vietnam. He was doing civil rights.
Yeah.
He was
Human
doing
rights. Hey guys, it's us again. You ever heard of Patreon? Because we just started one. Exclusive content, Discord, which I'm still figuring out. But but we get to talk.
You can suggest new episodes or just let us know something that we already talked about and you want to get in on the conversation. We're there for you.
We're also coming out with shirts and other merch.
There are 2 ways you can sign up for exclusive content. The first is through Spotify. There's a link in our profile description that links you to the Spotify premium page. And that's only $2.99 a month. And it gets you an ad-free experience and it gets you extra episodes that come out every month. The other way is through our Patreon. All you got to do is go to Patreon and search The Conspiracy Podcast, and you'll find us. There are many different levels there, all giving different amounts of content.
Yeah, because guys, this really does help us. We do this virtually for free. So help us help you enjoy yourselves.
Poverty. He was doing all the things that are good. Like what? Why would anybody be upset about that?
Too much
I don't
change.
understand.
Too much change messes up the
I
money.
don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, people hate change. It's like there's definitely
But
things
these
that,
are logical things that he was fighting
but
for.
now it is.
Like
Back then it was
Yeah.
just so
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
racially fucking charged.
Yeah.
Not even nowadays it is. Here's a great example. California. One of the,
yeah, that's true.
no, listen. Do you know how much money they allocate every year towards the homeless problem in California? It's I think it's like $5 or $6 billion.
No,
Billion
that can't be right.
dollars.
Want to bet? Watch.
I'm gonna bet you right
Okay,
now.
here we're gonna take a quick.
That sounds
That's-
high.
that sounds
sounds
high.
high.
We're gonna take a quick
5
pause.
million.
No, we're gonna take a quick pause.
Yeah, I was-
billions.
Hey, stop talking.
You know what I hate when people are like, that's billions with a B. I'm like, I fucking know how to spell billions.
I hate those people too. I hate those people too. Billions with a B. I'm like, we're done talking now. I'm leaving
use
with
that.
a fuck you.
Yeah.
Next episode,
That's a
I'm gonna
fuck
use
you
that.
with a fuck. With an F.
with a fuck you, piece of shit.
I'm gonna use that next episode.
Billions with a B.
I'm gonna be done if that. I'm done, Eric.
I gotta go. I got shit.
Here. Oh wow, it's more.
No.
What?
So published July 18th, 2023 at 12:43 p.m. And it was updated on the 18th at 12:49 p.m. California put aside $7.2 billion to address homelessness in the 2021-2022 state budget.
Wow.
So look at last year.
Wow, okay.
Last year there was an estimated
corrected.
172,000 homeless statewide, which equates to spending nearly $42,000 per homeless person.
Wow, that's like a minimum wage.
Literally.
Holy fuck.
And yet there's more homeless people than there was before. So where is that? Where are those billions of dollars going? Right into the pockets. They love the homeless problem. Are you kidding me? It's feeding. It's fucking putting
Is
food
that
on the
math
table.
right?
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
we do that math again? Is that math right?
Yeah, I'll do the math.
Help me out here.
Are you sure that was billions with a B?
Yeah,
though?
it sounds like millions. With an
It was $7.2 billion. So here, I'll show you the math. So that's $7.2 billion.
Yeah.
And you divide that by 172,000. $41,860.
Yeah. That's right. Wow.
Literally. And
You
that
know,
was
I don't
one-
usually say
dude,
this. I don't
1
usually say this.
year.
I don't usually say this, especially because he's wearing shorts and a jacket.
It's actually a rain jacket. That's fine.
But Sean got me on that one. That was good. I didn't expect that number. That
Yeah,
number
it was
that
higher.
number is
It was
hot.
higher than I
that
thought.
number is crazy. Yeah.
But my point is, he's obviously going against poverty and the thing, like,
Right.
But like,
All the things.
as weird as it is, those are the things that make money for the politicians. Poverty, war. Like, these are the things that make them so much fucking money because more of your
hate that.
more
I
of your
hate that.
tax
That's
dollars
true.
go into it, and it's like
I know.
what happens is they have the they have the LLCs that run the organizations that are getting this money, and they're not actually giving the money to the people. They're just like letting it.
Well-
It's fucked up. It's super
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
$7.2 billion
So then all those
bro.
things, all those things add up, and that's kind of where I am.
I mean, I'm basically with you on that. You
Yeah?
know, I just think it was the FBI behind this,
Yeah.
but led by Hoover. You
Yeah.
know, because the guy was basically, deemed too powerful.
Yeah.
And when somebody's too
Causing
powerful,
Too much influence.
ruckus.
too much influence.
Too much ruckus going on. So much ruckus.
Too much ruckus.
Yes.
And then,
Yes. Skullduggery. Skullduggery and tomfoolery. Yeah.
so, he's just like, has too much influence, too much control. Somebody that's like, evil, just somebody that can't have that is going to like take him out at any cost.
Yeah.
And so I think he used the FBI to do that. First he started like monitoring,
Trying to find dirt.
Yeah.
Couldn't find dirt. It's like fuck.
The monitoring and the surveillance.
Yeah.
And then like the little letter, hey, we know you've been fucking around.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You
then
know,
it's
been fucking around. Kill yourself.
Yeah.
Kill yourself for what
Yes,
you've done.
That's right.
And you're like, all right.
And then it's followed by black propaganda, like a campaign, smear campaign. Let's discredit him, and when all that shit doesn't work, it's like let's go to the next thing, and it's like a playbook straight out of JFK. Like we
I know. It's almost like they learned better.
They got better. They're like,
Because it was like 8 years later, and they're like, or 5 years later, and it was, let's do this right this
Yeah,
time.
like that,
Yeah.
Interesting.
no. So
and then you mix in racism with that.
Oh,
that
dude,
it's
it's-
as motive and all that.
it's way easier to get away with it too.
Yeah.
They're
They're
like,
hey.
guess who the suspect was? White, white male in a white Mustang.
Yeah.
White.
And his name's James Earl Ray.
Like literally, like
Give me a
oh my
break.
god, sounds like a grand wizard to me.
Yeah. And they're like, make sure it's 9 feet away.
I know, it's like,
Don't do a long shot again.
it's like
Don't
literally,
do
it's like
that.
point blank range. There's actually like, there's actually muzzle burns.
Don't
on
do
his
that
head,
again.
Like,
Do a real. Don't do that again. Don't do that again.
a real surefire, like
That's hilarious.
Okay.
No, but yeah, I mean, and as far as the evidence that they found, I mean, that's just easy to plant.
I know.
back then,
Especially the bundle.
yeah.
I know
The bundle's kind of silly.
I mean, you might as well just had it in an evidence
kinda
bag.
silly.
Yeah.
And there's like a fucking evidence bag thrown on the
It seems like he knew what he was doing as far as, I'm not saying he's an intelligent person, but he knew what he was doing as far as escaping.
I
Right?
still
like
think,
he's an escape artist.
no, I still think,
he escaped
right.
like multiple prisons.
Now,
which is impressive. I mean,
many
it's very
times,
impressive. Yeah.
multiple times. So
Now, one
you
thing-
know you don't put your fucking, you don't put
You
your
don't put
bag.
you don't put your evidence in a satchel.
Yeah, you're like,
Fucking-
oh, let me shave some fucking skin molecules on it.
It's not even DNA
and,
back
you
then.
know, yeah, skin
Let me leave
flakes.
a hair and a thumbprint and like a semen
Yeah.
sample.
I know.
I know. I just,
You're
love,
my-
I just love that there's also like there's like this perfectly. He's like
I know.
thumbprint.
Yeah.
Thumbprint.
So Eric, you do think there was a Raul, whatever this guy was? He was a shooter.
I think he was a handler,
He was the
I
shooter.
do think there was a handler. I,
some
think.
sort of handler.
Okay.
I totally agree.
He was
with
probably
the
a
handler.
fake name,
Yeah. I think.
Raul.
I think Raul was just an easy name. I know there's no last name. It's just
And usually I go the conservative route, but it's
there's too much.
it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's actually stupid.
There's too
I think
much.
this is more glaring than JFK.
Well, with what Jorge said is a good point. It's like they were trying to do the smear campaign, and
Yeah.
clearly they found nothing because they would have like pumped
Yeah.
that shit out on the
No,
airwaves. Like,
you know-
"Ooh,
you know-
look what we found, boys!"
And hey, I don't even put it past that he was cheating. I don't put it past. But it's not enough.
No, I just don't think
It wasn't enough to topple all that he did in good.
No,
Does that make sense?
No, they didn't have enough
Like,
juice.
I got it. I'm not saying that it's not great, but I'm just saying
They didn't have enough
it's not
juice.
enough to be like, hey, what you're saying is wrong.
No, I think that they could have.
You know?
I think that if he was actually cheating, they would have pumped it out. They would have actually made it super public because since he was a pastor, I think that is a good way to discredit a pastor.
Yeah.
Is him defying the oath,
they tried.
the oath and the laws that he
They
took.
tried.
But it's bullshit
and it
because
just
it
didn't
wasn't
really
real.
take.
That's why I think it
didn't
wasn't
take.
real because I don't think that was.
Yeah.
Even if it did happen, like you said, I don't think it's enough for black people to be like, well, we don't want rights anymore. So
Do you have a theory of what specifically happened?
Oh, I do. I'll let you go though.
Like with the shooting specifically?
Yeah, like
or?
is there any? Do you have any like concept of maybe it was James Earl Ray?
You know,
and
at
he just
first,
he just got duped.
For the most part, I was thinking it was definitely him. And, but now I do think he was just kind of like the driver, and he was definitely like he was Patsy, and then when he found out, he's like, oh shit, this is like they're blaming
this is
me.
real.
That's when he started like
He's
really
like,
trying to flee.
escape the prison.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you know,
Okay.
he was probably just trying to get some quick cash. Somebody was like, hey, you know,
You be the driver of an arms deal.
exactly.
Yeah, and then we're gonna
for
do this
sure.
deal, and then you're in the white Mustang, and then fucking cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully agree. I feel like he was good at escaping. That was like his. That was
He's
his
a
knack.
criminal. He's a through and through criminal.
No, but he was. But he clearly, as is proven by his track record, he was not a good criminal.
Yeah.
He was terrible at it.
But he was a good
No, it's not
escape
good.
artist.
He was great at escaping.
good
My
escaping.
God, the guy was
Yeah,
escape
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
professional. Like
Yeah.
he was good at getting away. That's what he was good at. He broke out of prison. He eluded them for over a year.
Right.
Impressive. He supposedly killed the most famous man in the world, and then eluded the fucking capture
for another
for
months.
6
months.
And meanwhile, traveling to different countries with different passports with different names. The guy's like a fucking super spy.
Yeah. True.
So, like, but my thing is, I totally believe that he was easily lured. He probably got offered quick, easy money.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, come to Memphis. We got quick, easy cash. Like, here, we'll send you the cash." He's like, "Fucking awesome! Like, quick score. I'm on the run. I need money.
I could see that.
I'll take whatever I can get. Fuck it."
could
And they
see
were probably
that.
like, "Yeah, hey, we got an arms deal."
But they
We
were
need you to
probably
be a
like,
driver."
hey, the heat is hot in Memphis because MLK's there.
So they're
So
like,
he's probably like, I need to get paid extra.
"Yeah, like here's
Because I'm an escape fucking criminal. I'm an escape
I'm an
prisoner
escape convict.
from a prison.
a federal prison."
So I'm gonna need a little extra.
Yeah,
Little
they're like,
doubles up.
So he knew he was.
I mean,
I don't think he knew that they were going to kill
that he was there. He had
MLK.
so he didn't have the newspaper at all.
No, I don't think so.
no.
I don't think
So he didn't know any of the
Yeah.
planted stuff.
I
No,
think
I
it's.
don't think
I think
so.
it was be really.
see.
I think it'd be
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
dude, oh my God, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is it.
No, listen.
This is it. We figured it out right here.
it's-
It's like Tupac. Here we go.
It's super easy to get his fingerprints on this stuff. He's there for he even said supposed arms deal.
Yep.
So they bring him into the hotel.
Yep.
He clearly likes to drink. So like some
Yeah.
slitches. He's like sweet.
Slitzes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
boom.
2 or 3.
And then boom, they
No
put that
big deal.
down, easy peasy. They're like, okay, here's the gun here's one of the guns we're going to be selling at the arms deal.
Oh,
Check it
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, you know,
Interesting.
30-06. So you were in the military, right? Okay,
Yeah,
looks
interesting.
legit. Okay, cool. And they're like, oh, here, put this fucking pamphlet over there. And it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
And that's
the newspaper,
The thing,
and
that's
then-
the newspaper.
yeah.
Grabs it, throws
Jerk
it
off
down.
real quick.
Into the newspaper, please.
No big deal. No big
No,
deal.
I'm saying like that's really easy for like, hey, arms deal. Here's one of the arms we're gonna do it. Does it look legit? You were in the military, weren't you? Oh yeah, of course. I was in Bruges.
He's like trying to show off. So he's like, let me
jerk it off.
I was in West Germany in 1946.
let me have a look at that rifle. I'm with my military background. I
He's
can
like,
tell
I got you, boys. He's like, it's gonna cost you extra though. An additional $5 on top of the normal fee.
Honestly, it's probably what he was saying the whole time. It's going to cost you extra.
I know he's like, oh sweet, I'm gonna fucking huge score.
Meanwhile, Raul is like, fucking anything you want.
He's like, done. He's like, here's 10 G's.
Fucking go, bro.
Let's go.
little fiver back then.
Mr. Washington says
no
you're
big
gonna
deal.
do the getaway driver. No, so then I feel like they probably had him posted up in a car somewhere. He probably heard shots and was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, this is too much heat for me now.
Right.
Like, I'm already on the run. I knew there was going to be heat, but now there's gunshots. I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
And then he probably heard.
So he left without Raul?
Oh, yeah.
Without
I'm
Raul.
pretty sure the whole Raul thing was just like.
Yeah.
And then
This is a fake guy, or like a handler.
And then the handler guy, whoever shot him, just like.
Yeah. Here's the bag.
Here's
the evidence
fucking
bag.
Evidence, right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
And the guy probably sees
Pretty simple.
Probably sees
actually.
he looks in the news and he's like, oh shit, MLK got killed. I was in Memphis. I'm fucking out of here. I'm fucking.
By that
dead.
time, he's already
They're
in
looking for a
Alabama.
white Mustang. Oh shit, that's me.
He's like, man, I'm in a white Mustang.
So that's when he dumped all his shit.
I know. He's like, my film equipment. Fuck it.
yeah.
That's where he dumped his shit, and then he went to
Three-
Atlanta.
3 states away.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Once again, it's Conspiracy Podcast solves the fucking crime.
We solved it.
I mean, it's okay. We're waiting for our Western Union from the federal government for solving the crime.
If you guys like this episode, I'm waiting for my Western Union.
I know.
Go ahead and send it. And
mean,
Send it to our Patreon.
I'll take our non-tracked cryptocurrency.
Eric's like fucking
That's what I'm waiting
called
for.
again.
boob coin.
Boob coin. Monero. You know, give me some.
I know.
Give me some. There we go, guys. I mean, crazy. We all are on the same page.
I mean, we're all in like the same side.
Same arena.
Yeah.
Same arena.
Like I have a much more.
Yeah.
I've like literally scripted out this entire thing. Like,
No,
this
it's
is
pretty
it.
wild. I don't think we've ever on a major case like this or a
we have.
major situation. Well, OJ.
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 But like 90%
along with the rest of the country.
I mean, we all believe that.
Yeah.
Let's
I still
be
can't
honest.
I still can't.
Even
believe
the jury is like,
I
fuck.
can't believe he's living his life.
Dude, fuck him.
Fuck
Piece of
him.
shit.
There you go, guys. We love you a long time.
So much.
We'll catch you next time. We've got a couple cool episodes coming up. We have Biden's laptop,
Oh, yeah, that's coming up.
Hunter Biden. Yeah.
Hunter Biden's laptop. We've got RFK series coming up. We've got a lot of research on that, and we'll catch you next time.
We're gonna put up a poll. Real quick, we're gonna put up a poll on Spotify.
Yep.
So you guys can vote and share what you think happened or who you think did it. So
Yep.
go vote on that. Let us know.
And I just want to, obviously, just quick shout out to our Patreon peeps and our Discord guys. We love you. We appreciate you, staying with us through like our little like hiatus there. But obviously we're back. This is for you guys, and
That's right. All right, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
Night.